Ready?
Yeah.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, my friends. This is Pinky.
And this is Priyanka.
And we're here to call out all things PakeAsPuck. Look at that. By episode 30, we finally got it. We don't need a script.
Comes around.
We're solid. We're solid.
Yeah. We used to have a little computer screen with like topic ideas.
It was
Just
wild.
so, yeah.
It looked, we should have taken a picture actually, but I'm glad we didn't because it was like there was like a bed behind it.
There's a lot going on, and now we just hit play or record,
and
whatever.
And we just hope that we could get through it.
Chit chat, yeah.
Yeah.
How was your week?
It was good. It was good. Still having the stress diarrhea, so that's great. I realized today why
I can't imagine how raw your asshole is.
So raw.
Sorry.
So raw.
Because that's like a lot.
Like I never realized, like when I was younger, you know, heavy in pop culture, actors, actresses, all this stuff, right? Celebrities love that stuff. And so when I would read about them, they'd be like, oh yeah, you know, so and so when they're stressed out, they don't eat, which is why they've lost a lot of weight. Okay. Right? And I'd be like, oh my God, how can you not eat? I would die. And then I was like, this week I realized, I was like, the reason they didn't eat when they were stressed out is because they were getting stress diarrhea and their asshole was hurting. That's why they didn't eat.
Likely.
Like, and nobody told us that part. Why would you tell us that part? That part's the gross part. So you're not going to say that part. And I was like, you motherfuckers, you didn't tell us the real thing about being famous. You told us all of the good bullshit and made us want to become famous. And then, like...
This doesn't relate, but it's a story from yesterday. My little guy had taken a nice, like, post-dinner shit.
Oh, nice.
And I think Neil was just... I put it together afterwards, and I was mad at him last night. But he was kind of just like, okay, well, just hold it. And he was, like, really, really flustered.
What?
And he was just like, okay, man, I know, you poop, blah, blah, blah. And his tone was really off. Not that mine was any better today. Yeah. But... Moms get a pass.
Right. No, moms we're gonna get a pass. No.
So he was like really short with the kids, and I was like, "Why are you getting mad at him?" Because he changed him, and then he wanted to take a bath.
Okay.
And at this point, it was already like I think 7:35 or 7:40, and so he was just like, "No, man, I just changed you. You don't need a bath." And it seemed a little irrational, but I was like, "Why? What's the big deal? Why are you so mad?" I put it together much later. But I felt bad. I'm like, the poor kid just took a shit. His asshole's probably just raw, and he wants to, like, sick it a little bit.
Yeah.
So I was like, come on, let's go turn the bath on and whatever. And I got him in the tub. I wasn't happy about it. I was tired myself, but it sucks, like, as a parent when you're like too tired, and it's like, okay, but this is basic hygiene. Like,
and you have to do it.
He feels dirty, and he's telling us
especially if the kid is saying it.
Right, it's not optimal timing, but he feels dirty, so whatever.
Yeah.
So whatever, I did all that. We put the kids to bed, and then when I got back to my room, Neil's not there, and I thought he was still with my daughter, but he wasn't there either, and I was like, oh, it's Monday. It's game night.
Uh-huh.
So he's video gaming with his friends, and I hear a stupid giggle through the walls, and I'm like, you can't get mad at your kids and shit like that because you're late to play video games.
They understand. Don't they have kids? His bros?
I don't think one of his friends, I think, does. But either way, like, yes, it is your time, but you can't take it out on them.
How many times has it been your time where you had to, like, change... You know what I'm saying?
Don't even... So I had a moment on my way over here. Right? I had a whole moment on my way over here.
Yeah.
I texted you about it.
Yeah.
Right?
You did.
And it's because it's the other side of it where the guilt of it is consuming me. I'm taking time out to do something for myself. We're not just hanging out. We're talking to the camera. We're doing work.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So this is a commitment that you and I have together. And yeah, I was pressed for time to get out the door, but I still have this guilt to get everything done.
Yeah.
Like, make sure there's at least a plan for dinner. If it's not prep, there's a plan for dinner. Like, all the kids are good. Nobody's screaming at me on the way out.
Yeah.
A shower.
A shower.
You know, like...
Most basic of needs.
It's, like, somewhat clean. I put away the grocery, like little things. So that guilt does consume me. I don't think the same exists. He's just trying to think of bare minimums.
Yeah.
So that he can get to the game. And I was like, why are you yelling at him?
Yeah.
Because he wants to, like, wash his ass. What the fuck?
That's fucking...
It's just stupid.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping this stress diarrhea de-stresses. I don't, and I think I know what is, it's just compounding, right? One thing on top of another. And I'm hoping that leaving on Friday to start this third tour, get your tickets.
That's exciting.
Shameless plugs from here on out. You get
Yeah.
a whole list of shows at the end of every single episode.
I can't believe it was a third tour.
Third tour. And like, you know, ticket sales obviously are not as where we would like them to be, right? And I'm not talking about sold out. I'm talking about like 80% sold.
Like filling out to
Yeah.
a certain capacity.
80% full. Like that is where it's worth it, you know? And for the business aspect.
Right.
For me going away and doing it is worth it for me mentally because I'm able to get that that break. And yes, am I working? Absolutely. Yes, am I traveling? Absolutely. Am I having to be more alert than I am when I'm at home? Absolutely, right? However, I'm only alert for one person, myself,
Right.
because I'm traveling with another adult who's also responsible for herself,
Right.
and whoever else travels with me, right? Like I don't I don't baby anybody. I'm like,
Yeah.
I might like obviously be
If anything, for
considerate.
once, you have people that are looking out for you.
Right, and we as women don't get that in our everyday
Ever.
lives, right? Like it's rarely, and we're not saying our husbands are shit, but they're not like how another woman would be to you, like how your friend would be to you,
Yeah.
right? Like when we were having the exchange, you know, I was getting ready to make dinner, and I was like, I'm gonna make something easy because I'm like, what can I eat that I'm not gonna like feel bad, which has been chicken Caesar salads or just Caesar salads, and I don't know why that, because there's mayo in the Caesar dressing, you know, and so I have no idea. It's not fucking.
If it works, it works. Whatever.
But I texted you, right? I was like,
Yeah.
do you? And I've done that numerous times when you've texted me,
Neil loves that. He's like, she feeds you, and I'm like, yeah. Why don't you?
right? But like women do it for one another more because we know what it feels like to not have anybody do it for us.
Yeah.
And so we hope that if we do it for one friend, then that friend will either reciprocate to us or they will do it to another friend, another girlfriend. And as long as it's passed forward, I don't care if I get it back, but I just want.
You bring up a really good point. So I went to Tinley Park with another makeup artist friend of mine. She was helping me out that weekend, and something happened like a week later. We had bonded on this trip and everything. And then something happened. Yeah, something happened like the week after. But she happened to text me in the morning and she's like, go check your door. And she DoorDashed me breakfast. Yeah. It was just so nice. And I was like, why don't I think to do this? It's such a simple thing.
Like if you...
Like, you don't have to... And you don't have to spend much. You know, like sometimes flowers and gifts and this and that can really add up, and that's not always attainable for everybody, but it's like, it was breakfast. It was like $20.
Yeah. I mean...
That was awesome. And I was like, I need to remember to do this more for other people because it's so simple, but so thoughtful.
But yeah, and it means, so going back to the original, like going out mentally for me is worth it. For the business aspect, that if we don't hit that 80%, financially it's not worth it. And I don't want to stop touring.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to stop doing shows. And if that means I get a part-time job at a dispensary and I do this part-time like 3 times a month.
We should own a dispensary.
We probably should.
I want to own one so bad.
Or a smoke shop. But smoke shops creep me out. Like they have this weird vibe to them, smoke shops.
I don't always like smoke shops. Also, just I don't like the smell of like cigarettes and cigars. I think that's too much.
Yeah.
I don't dispensaries even know what it means are very clean.
Yeah.
They smell like linen, and I like it.
So like, I don't mind doing both, you know, but like, I want it to be worth it financially as well.
Yeah.
At this point, not just mentally. And so, am I excited to start touring? Absolutely, because I have so many things I still want to talk about my hysterectomy and being married 20 years and college mom and travel ball, and there's so many things that I don't make content about, which I feel like that's why people like coming to the shows, because I give them a more personal and raw.
It's
very
I
raw.
was just gonna say that. I'm like, your show is so unexpectedly real.
It's very raw.
You don't expect to hear what you say, and it just kind of hits you in the face.
Like I'm like I've been, you know, from the first tour, this is what did well. From the second tour, this is what did well. And I want to get everybody's reaction that saw all the shows.
Could you hear me? Remember at the Vic?
Yeah.
Dude, I was laughing.
I heard you.
So hard. I was slapping Melissa next to me. I couldn't. It was too funny. I could not. I couldn't handle it. It was just like, what did she say?
I've let all the secrets out.
Yeah. I was like, oh my god.
I can't believe she told everybody that's what happens. But it's, like, in like the fact that I can find so many people across this nation and then now Canada and then wherever else I end up going that also think like me, it makes me feel a little bit like I don't need therapy. I just need to talk to people that think like me.
Yeah.
And I'm saving so much money in the long run.
You're making money instead.
So this whole stress thing, and then because I got my 2 teeth extracted this summer. So let me ask you this. All right. This might be the grind your gungies. Okay. So this has been grinding my gungies for the past 3 weeks. Okay. 2 weeks. It started so maybe more actually, because I started noticing this a week or two before roommate number 2. We dropped him off at college.
Okay.
So like second to last, like when the kids started school. So maybe they've been in school for a month now, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So the past month I noticed this. Since I got 2 teeth extracted, my molars, which are my chewing teeth. So now I can't chew on this side. Like,
why'd they just take it out and not like replace, like crown it or something? Or
no, well, they had to be extracted.
Okay.
Because one was, they were like, you can either do a root canal or you can extract it. And I've only met one other person that has had successful root canals. And so I was like, just one tooth, I'll be fine.
But it's weird that they just take it out and they don't have a replacement strategy.
Well, they do.
Okay.
I'll get to that.
Okay, going forward.
No. I'll get to that part.
Okay.
And so, I didn't start the timer. Let me start. Okay, it's fine. Anyway, so I had this issue. We'll start at this top.
Okay.
2 years when I started this tour, I noticed that I was having an issue. I bit down and I was like, oh fuck.
It hurts.
It hurt. And so then, I did look, whatever, but with the tour happening, I was like, when am I supposed, and then my in-laws moving in, like it was so much. When do I have time to take care of myself? Because why should I take care of myself? Like, I was not only like not taking my medicine because I was so focused on my father-in-law's medicine. Like I was just so focused on getting him situated. I was forgetting to take my own medicine. And then on top of that,
she has a monthly pillow pack. Like it's hardcore
with the sun and the moon. A sun and
the moon. AM, PM.
And then it says Sunday, Monday, Tuesday was your job. So there's no confusion.
Yeah. That's hardcore.
Right. And so I noticed it. I was like, okay, I'll get to it when I do my cleaning. But then I was like, every time I made an appointment, either I had to cancel because something more important came up, or or they had to cancel because of scheduling conflicts. Because of course that's what would happen for a mom, right?
Yeah.
And so then finally, fast forward this year, I finally went to go take care of it because I was like, I have time. Let me take care of it. So I go to get my cleaning, and right up I walk in because obviously the cavity became an issue, right? Like. That's why I was always like picking at it because it was hurting and stuff. I couldn't eat properly.
I didn't pick up on that, but that sucks that you had to deal with it.
Yeah, like I was buying so much
painful.
dental floss pick things. Like I should have like bought stock in it. Is how much because I had to keep cleaning it out because I was like, and I would remember when it hurt, but then I would forget.
Do you use a water flosser?
No.
It's really good.
I probably should. We have it.
It's fantastic. It's really nice.
So then I go in and out of the gate, I'm like, listen, I don't want a root canal. They have not been successful. Just take it out. Because I was like, one tooth, not a big deal. It's just one tooth. I'll get an implant later. Because then you have to graft it and then you have to implant it. But guess what? You have to wait for insurance because for dental, they only give you like $2,500 per year. And so getting one tooth replaced takes like so many years. But I was like, it's just one tooth. It's not a big deal. I could still eat on that side. And so I was eating on that side because they told me to. It felt weird, but I was fine. Not a big deal. And then the last tooth, the molar, it was loose because I was like, is this supposed to feel squishy?
No, it lost structure.
Yeah.
It didn't have anything to balance off of.
And so it got loose, and so they had to extract it. So I don't have 2 teeth back here, and it took forever. And that was all of June and July. That's all of June and July I dealt with that. And then, so now when I eat, right, I don't chew on this side because there's nothing on the bottom. It feels weird. I'm chewing on this side, right?
Which is weird to get used to.
Not even just to get used to, but I have noticed my food intake is less and less, which is not always a bad thing. However, when it's not because I want to do it, it's a bad thing, right? Like when it happens because of a health concern, it's a bad thing. Like when I purposefully do it,
you're okay. You're on board.
Like I'm on all, and it's taken me forever to figure this. I figured this out last week, what was going on. So I noticed that foods that wasn't giving me stress diarrhea was giving me diarrhea, right? Like foods that I know that I was eating all of June, May, June, every time I was home. You know, I would go on my walks, I would come home, I would make my breakfast, high protein, foods I know I can eat. Nothing was an issue. Now I eat those same foods and now I have to run to the bathroom after an hour, 2 hours. Like, what the fuck? And like, I'm talking like torrential downpours out of my booty hole. Like, I know that's TMI, but this is where we're at right now. Just roll with it. And
I
no, this is what I've been dealing with for the past month. And
jeez.
so I was just like trying to figure it out. I was like, why am I so stressed out? Why am I so stressed out? And I found this out last week. So we go to the gas station. He wants to get ice cream. He gets his fucking Michoacana, you know, Mexican Dairy Queen ice cream bar. And he's like, what do you want? I was like, oh, get me a king cone. Because I've been really good this summer. I haven't eaten too much ice cream. I've been really taking care of myself. And I was like, oh, I really crave that. I love the cones with all of it. The caramel, the chocolate, the nut. You've seen my strawberry parfaits, right? So I get that and I'm eating it. I was like, what the fuck? I'm having a difficult time eating this. And so then I put it in a bowl and I'm eating this and I'm eating this. And it took me fucking half an hour to finish this king cone that I had to put into a bowl when we got home. And the reason is because I realized I had to take breaks when I was eating because that side of my mouth was getting tired, or that side of my mouth was getting numb, or it was getting burned because it was either hot food was burning it, cold food was numbing it, and if it was too abrasive of a food, it was that side of my tongue, it was getting raw. So
Because you haven't been using it.
no, because when you think about this, when you eat,
Uh-huh.
do you use your whole mouth or just one side of your mouth?
You're usually dominant maybe on one side, but like
But you rotate
it
when your
does
food is hot. You rotate when your food is cold. You rotate it in your mouth to like cool it down a little, to like even
I'm gonna
it
practice
out.
what I'm hoping to.
But you realize I've asked everybody this, and my husband, he's like, no, everybody just eats with one side. I'm like, no, they do, but initially when you put like hot food in your mouth, like you take a bite of a hot sandwich, or you take a bite of, you know, like pasta or something, and it's a little too warm, so you keep rotating it until it cools down, and then you chew on the dominant side, whatever your dominant side is. I'm fully aware of this, but I could not say those words to explain it to him for him to understand. So every time I've been like talking to different people, which has been difficult because I've hardly met different people since I've been home, and I'm going fucking insane being home for 3 months. I
can tell. Yeah. It's okay.
It's a home stretch.
It's 1 week.
It's a home stretch.
You're almost done.
And so the fact that now I know this, and so I was like, okay, well, maybe I should just go on a fucking water fast. Maybe I should change my perspective instead of being worried and like, you know, oh my God, I can't eat. I want to eat all this food. I can't eat. It's taking too, or whatever. I should just just do a water fast and just eat so little that it doesn't, because it's fucking hurting. Like today I had breakfast. I had one piece of toast, lightly warmed up, not even like how I know it, peanut butter on it, 2 egg whites, Activia yogurt, and 2 turkey sausage links. That is what I had this morning at 8:30 a.m. No dairy in there. The Activia is gut healthy, right? Whole wheat, no butter, nothing. Even if I did use butter, we have plant-based butter. Like an hour and a half later, immediate diarrhea going upstairs. And my mouth is still raw from that morning, this side.
So how are we connecting the mouth
Because
exhaustion?
Because I'm not getting enough calories.
So then you're just...
Right, like I'm just literally getting 500 to maybe 1,000 calories a day. If I snack and I remember to snack, but I'm not a snacker. I was never a snacker.
Yeah.
I'm not a grazer. I never graze throughout the day like my kids do, my husband does, my father-in-law does. Like I sit down and I eat and I'm done. But meanwhile, the rest of the house is constantly grazing. I don't do that. So to get into the habit of grazing, so because I'm getting lower calories, but I'm still getting my workout, like my walks in, and I'm still getting all of that. Like, and I end up taking naps during the middle of the day. Like solid 2-hour naps, and they don't feel restful because if I
think your body's just exhausted.
It's just tired of something, and so until I can like de-stress, I feel like I just have to not eat because the eating is, and then the diarrhea afterward, like, it's exhausting me.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, it's now that I know the mentality that I need to have, it's about.
It's very complex, and I can just feel that like
I'm trying to change my perspective, but then I just get so hungry that I will snack on, like, this fucking pickles this is the only thing. Fucking Logan's cucumber salad. Sometimes you have to eat a whole cucumber. The fucking because he starts off with that every time. This is the only thing that has not given me violent diarrhea.
I mean, it's something.
At least it's cucumbers.
Yeah,
like,
you eat it. Yeah.
But like my salad.
Have you looked into like a non-dairy protein shake?
So
just so you can get like some additional calories and something that'll keep you full.
Yeah. So I was kind of trying. I was, in finally admitting to my husband what was going on instead of just being a cranky bitch. Because that's what I was being. Because until I realized what was going on.
You're frustrated with yourself.
Right.
You're
It's
like,
all
what the fuck
connected.
is going on? Yeah.
Like I don't, because I couldn't eat properly, it took me a while to connect the fact of why is it taking me longer to eat? Why is the same food? I feel like it's all connected. And I feel like I need to, if I fix the teeth, like if I get the implants in, then I can start eating normally again, right?
Maybe it's going to take a while to heal because they're going to drill into your mouth.
Well, yeah. But like, it's...
Ideally, yeah.
So somebody reached out to me. I don't know if they saw my like all the posts I was doing when I was at the dentist's office early in the summer. Mm-hmm. She reached out to me and she was like, oh, we're a dental office in New Jersey and we'd love to do, if you need dental work, we would love to like exchange this for videos.
How weird.
I don't know if it was karma or what the fuck it was. And so I was like, what? I will for sure make you videos for free. Like, and I was like, this is what I need done. 2 bone grafts in my back molars and 2 implants. Like, you would literally do that for like 3 or 4 videos. I don't know what it said specifics, but I need to be gone for 2 weeks is what it was. Okay. And with him, scheduling, whatever.
Credible location? Look into the doctor?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
We're set. So I'm going to reach out to them, and once we figure out it's a legit, credible, not cuckoo place.
Yeah.
And then I think I'm going to do it in January because that's the next time I have a break. And so then roommate number 2 is home, so I can be in New Jersey and Connecticut back and forth in January.
I can come.
You can come, yeah.
I'll nurse you back to health.
But yeah.
I'll puree foods and just feed it to you.
But I like something needs to... And I feel like
yes,
the food
it's important. You need to be able to eat.
Yeah. Like, I feel like that's the root cause of everything. Yeah. Of, like, the fact that I'm cranky with everybody, the fact that I've been taking naps during the day, the fact that, like, whenever I do eat, I have 75 to 80% of the time violent diarrhea afterwards. Unless I'm eating just, like, 1 or 2 crackers.
Being hangry is an issue, and, like,
And I'm just, I'm hangry all the time.
You're hangry with a raw ass. Like, it's a lot.
I know.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and so, like...
It's like, I'm not trying to be hungry here.
Right, and I had to break down and tell my husband, because he was trying Smexy time, and I was like, no, I just fucking got done with diarrhea, man. I don't want you anywhere near my downstairs, Like, I don't, like...
No, that's as the little one says, I have icky feeling. That is icky.
So I've been trying to, like... I've been polling everybody, and I'm going to ask everybody this weekend at my shows. I'm going to be like, clap if you know that this makes sense or not.
It does make sense. I'm just trying to understand how the pain on one side is resulting in violent diarrhea.
Because it's...
Especially when it's like foods that have worked for you before. Because I can't draw the connection to that.
No, I think it's the compounded stress.
Okay.
It's not just...
Okay.
I'm trying to say it without saying too much. You know the rest of the stories. But so it's the compounded.
Yeah.
And so like...
This is just another stress factor. There's an unknown. You didn't know what was happening.
So now if I could... What my goal is to remove the stress on top and just have the bottom stress that I've always had to get back to where I was in the spring because it was a better place in the spring. When I started my walks, I was in a better place mentally than I am right now. And the only thing that's making me get up in the morning and doing my walks... Because originally I was like, oh, I think my depression came back. Remember, I was like, I think this came back. I think... It does come back. It does.
I don't want to say it comes back. I think it presents more
No,
than
it ebbs
anything.
and flows.
You find a way to work around it. You're clarifying things. You're feeling better. You're learning to deal with it,
Right.
and then some random trigger comes along and brings back. And it's so shitty.
Yeah, it is. Which
So-
I think this could be our hot take. I have a hot take off of this.
Okay.
Okay.
But before you tell me, can I see your missing teeth? Oh my god.
And I try to eat on that side,
No,
and
but
it hurts.
yeah, your gums are probably just like really sore. No, gums are pretty strong.
No, I know.
You should be able to like
Like, how
mash
many
up
moms
some
have we seen eating food without their dentures in? Of course I know.
babies. Just look at babies. We undermined my dad still gets on my nerves about this, but he likes to break everything up into really small pieces. I'm like, that can actually be a bit of a choking hazard.
Yeah.
You don't realize it, but it can be. I'm like, their gums are strong. They'll mash it up. Just provide soft foods,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
mashable foods.
Yeah, soft.
But yeah, my dad
No.
still treats it.
No, I just
Like
so.
they got a full mouth of teeth, and he's still like, remember to chew, guys.
Oh my god.
It's too much. Anyways, whatever. Okay, so hot take.
So the hot take I have for you, it kind of stems off of what we just kind of finished talking about. There's so many things. So going back to the I said it was compounded stress, right? Just cliff notes.
Sorry, I've had a
No,
really
it's
long
okay.
week.
It's
I'm just
fine.
yawning over here.
So just cliff notes for everybody, right? Like depression came back. I've been working with it. I've had good days and hard days. I'm not gonna say bad, just hard, right?
Yeah.
Good days and hard days, and so you have to work through that. So that's strike number one, right? I feel like if you know
Which is like a huge umbrella over everything because it impacts all aspects of
all
your
aspects
life.
of your life. So if you have like anxiety, like any kind of mental whatever. So I know I have depression, right? And so at the beginning of August, I was starting to get like a little like I could feel like my negative energy coming back and like whatever. So I was like, am I upset because, you know, my friends are no longer going to be able to walk with me, and that was our thing that we did this summer and we looked forward to that. I'm still going on my walks, but they're not there, right? And so because one of my friends, Michelle, was like, yeah, that first week back was hard for me because I was so cranky, and then one of the faculty members was like, have you been going on your walks with Pinky? And she's like, oh shit, no. So for her, it was not going on the walks. That's why she was cranky. And then the stress of school. So then I thought it was, when she said that, I was like, okay, fine. It's probably that's why I've been a little bit cranky because they're going back to school. I'm going to miss hanging out with them, all that. But then the crankiness just kept going, right? And it just kept going. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm still doing my walks. So I didn't stop those, right? Because then I would kind of, if I stopped doing the walks, I would feel like, okay, then it is my depression. And it's not something else. The lack of food.
You want to be able to do everything in your power to not put it under that.
Right. And
Yeah.
so and then I'm trying to think of like, you know, how I'm feeling hormonally as well because perimenopause, right? So a lot of the times what I feel like the hot take is for us women is that we have absolutely no idea what is going on with our bodies and our brains, and we are just living in survival mode from one day to the next. Like I feel like for this day, what is the issue that I'm dealing with both outside and inside?
I want to know if it's the same for the women that choose to be mothers versus women that choose not to have children. Like, do they experience the same thing around the same age while they're going through it? And is our stress factor just...
We should like start like searching that on TikTok.
I never want to undermine somebody that like chose not to have children, but like, are they experiencing the same level of symptoms and stress?
I feel like they are. The only stress that's not there is
They have different stress.
the kid stress. No, but like
kid stress is completely different. It's in its own bucket, but
That's
it
what I
could be
mean.
synonymous to something else that they could be stressed about, like different career changes or whatever
Yeah,
else
yeah,
that they're
yeah.
kind of working on. You
Yeah.
know, like money.
yeah,
is a
that
big
we
one
wouldn't that we
that
might
we
not.
probably don't experience, right? But
No,
like,
I feel like they go through the same. Like they don't know if they're depressed or they just need to drink more water or they're just they're going through perimenopause.
do they feel equally
or,
loony?
Yeah, I feel like they do.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel 100% that all women, when they go through their lives, the decades, they feel the same kind of, there's a couple of buckets, but they feel the same kind of way regardless of their life circumstances. Yes, their life circumstances add more, but as far as like, if you have depression, it doesn't matter if you have kids or you don't have kids, you still have depression, right? Like
Yeah.
in that, or like
Right.
if you're autistic, it does not matter if you have kids or not, you're still autistic. So like there's, the challenges are different,
Right.
but I feel like they never know what's going on. Like they don't know if they're, if this is because I'm having a really bad autistic episode, or if I'm just am having a bad hormonal issue and I need to go on HRTs and start going down that, like, and then now you start talking to all of the varying people in your life. Like I'm texting one friend who also had a hysterectomy. I'm like, bitch, are you going through this right now? Because I'm trying to figure out if it's
Yeah.
perimenopause or if I'm depressed or I'm just horny as fuck. I have no idea what is going on.
I'm so scared for my future 7 years from now. What
Like,
the fuck?
do you understand this? Like
I don't, because I'm not there.
you're gonna watch
But
this episode.
but I'm
log it.
listening,
Episode
and I
3.
want you to be able to just let it out. I'm honestly scared for my future right now.
I don't want you to be scared for your future. I don't want anybody to be scared for their future. But I
But you're
want
going
you,
through a lot, and I see that.
what it is I want people to know. I want whoever's after me to know what it is exactly like right now. Because the ones that came before us did not do a good fucking job teaching us about anything about life.
No.
From marriage, to relationships, kids, sex, what meant, nothing. They don't talk about it, and I'm like, I have living proof in my house.
Yeah.
Who could like, oh, are you whatever? Like
Yeah.
it does not matter if it's my mom or my mother-in-law. Like I don't.
You don't have
And I want you guys,
like
the
a
ones after
direct
me,
resource to go through. Like, yeah, there's resources, but
No.
wouldn't you want to know, like, within your own family how it was treated or dealt with?
Right.
Because, like, there's a hereditary component to it.
and I want people after me, women after me, you, my
Yeah.
other friends, to go in with eyes wide open. That's what it is. I don't want you to be scared of this is what my future is, knowing
That's
that
been our friendship always, though.
Right.
You've always just given me a little glimpse into the future.
But now I want all those bitches to know too. Like I want everybody who is not there yet, because this can start whenever.
And your circumstance is also completely different from somebody else's, because you did have the hysterectomy.
Right.
Right? And so, like, that's going to fuck with your hormones completely differently than somebody that still has their
Yeah.
uterus and
And then
still
I'm not
working through
even
it.
like just mad at our own the women in our community. I'm not just mad at the women in our community, the older women who could help guide us through our life of, being first generation Indian raised here and beyond, right? Like all of that. I'm not just upset with them. I'm upset with, when we think about it, when we went to school and they taught us in health about, you're going to go through puberty and you're going to go through this. Did they tell us that women are still going to fucking go through puberty at the age of 40-ish? Not
No,
like
they
ish.
bucket it as menopause, and that's it. There's no phases leading up to
you
it.
telling me I'm going through fucking puberty again? Like, am I going to stop going through puberty? This is
I
just
actually-
another fucking stage?
I didn't even know that perimenopause was a phase until recently.
Like, why do we even have that as a phase?
Again, I think it's just as we learn and research, as we research more and learn more about what's happening, you can give a name to it. It's not that it wasn't happening.
It was, yeah.
But we didn't
Yeah.
have a name for it. And now there's a name for it. It's got its own classification. And so we can learn about it and try to be more aware. There'll probably be something else down the line, too.
Yeah.
Sounds really fucked up, though. like, I'm not trying to laugh at you.
No.
I'm just like, what the fuck?
I don't care. You
I'm
can
so
laugh.
scared.
It's not.
No, I had such a, and I'm not trying to like deter away from what you're sharing. with
No.
me. I'm nervous because I had a really tough time postpartum, and I realized like how much that like hormone shift that happens, all the like the changes in hormones that I had 3 kids back to back in like 6 years. Like they're all 2 years apart. So I spent I counted it up, at least 8 years straight, either pregnant or nursing, pregnant, nursing. So that's a long time of hormones going up and down, up and down, up and down. And that's just related to children.
I know.
Not your flow and this and that and everything else, stress hormones and whatever that's kind of fucking around, right? So when things did finally start to taper off from a personal standpoint, I had a really fucking hard time. I felt rage.
Yeah.
I felt crazy. Things didn't make sense. Thankfully, I was like, I recognized it. I started therapy and we're making sense of it. We're still working through it. And this phase is creeping up in my peripherals, okay? I'm not that far away from you where it's going to creep up, and it makes me nervous because I'm like, I can't feel like that again. It scared me the last time.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I feel like this is so much worse than going through puberty. Like, when you went through puberty, you became a completely different person after puberty, right? You went from being a child to a fully grown woman, like us, right? You became a child to an adult. That's the first phase of puberty.
Yeah.
And I thought we were done after that. I didn't know it was gonna fucking keep on going. That was hard enough as it is. And then for women, that's where we break off now. For women, right? We went through level 2 of puberty, which is fucking pregnancy. So if you didn't go through pregnancy, you didn't go through level 2 of puberty. So probably those women that didn't have children, they're going to have worse menopauses than we are. Who knows? They might, because their bodies didn't go through the same shit as women who had children. Right? I mean, we don't know until we do a study. Somebody do a fucking study.
We don't know.
But it could be because think of how much your body changed from before you had kids to after you had kids, right?
No,
Your
it
body,
fucked me up.
your mentality, everything. And now I'm going and then going through it so now this is the third time, like, depending on how many children you had. I had 2, right? So now I'm going again. Like, we're constantly going through puberty, and we know what it was like before and before and before, and we're just like, this is terrifying, this is terrifying, this is terrifying. And the only thing that anybody can do is tell us to go to an OBGYN office where they don't fucking know what they're doing, and all they're doing is pushing more prescriptions on us.
Yeah.
So now we're going to add
OB
prescription?
is there to deliver the baby. I do think that it would be worthwhile to speak to getting your hormone levels checked and doing some sort of
well, no,
like
they recommend you
therapy.
so which are the
you just have to go
HRTs.
through the channels to get there.
Yeah, which is like they find loopholes within loopholes to just like not make anybody better. And this is not just in America; it's everywhere where there's doctors, right? Unless you have a doctor that knows everything, which is impossible because no human being can know everything, right? They always have to. You have to go here to refer them there, and then refer them there, and then we can't go there because of insurance. You got to go there. No,
you're paying co-pays all along the way. Fucking stupid. Oh, you're so stressed.
Like this.
I know. Don't shit on the sofa.
I'm not. All I've eaten was that. Like, I started logging food. My thing, I've told you, right? Whoever I've talked to, honestly, I did not want to go back to logging what I've been eating because I did not want to count calories because I did not want, it becomes a game. And then I try to eat less and less and less because that's the game, the name of the game, right?
Yeah.
And so I was refusing. Everybody's like, oh, when they find out I'm trying to lose weight, all that. Yeah. Oh, you should track your food. I'm like, no, we're not doing that. That's crazy town. And now I have to fucking track it.
I do.
Well, you can do that. I can't.
That's okay.
I can't. I know what I can and can't do.
Fine.
So I just kind of, eat when I'm hungry. At least I was. Now I don't even do that. Like, the only thing that maybe doesn't irritate my mouth is chewing gum. But I can't chew gum all day. That's not good for you. That's an appetite suppressant. Like,
yeah.
But like the fact that I don't know.
I'm just trying to rack my brain as to like what can we do to like
beyond that, but like
to answers.
But like the thing is, it just opened my eyes to what we as women like go through because we don't know what the fuck is going on. We're just taking it day by day.
I think you worded it best in that like we are literally in survival mode every single day. Yeah.
And I don't. Are men in survival mode?
No, because my husband refused to give my son a bath so he can go play video games. So I think they're good.
I think once your husband has violent diarrhea, he will understand.
Makes me want to spike his water.
Maybe you should.
No, then I have to hear it.
And smell it.
Nah, we're not doing all that.
It's not sexy.
Yeah. He did wake up this morning. He's like, I think I'm sick. I'm like, man, fuck you, dude. I was just like... we're going to end it there. Thank you guys for watching.
I know it was a little bit ranty, but I feel like we all need to start talking openly about this because, again, we don't know what's going on half the time. If it's because we're depressed or we're having a
She's
good.
asking for resources. If you can think of anything that may help her asshole, send them your way. Yeah.
Leave your questions, comments, all that bullshit down below. Talk to you guys later. Okay, bye.
Okay.